Now more than ever, transportation business owners need industry experts at every stage in their company's life cycle. We bring them to you in the hot seat.
Welcome to In the Hot Seat with the Tenney Group. I'm Spencer Tenney. It's good to be with you. And today we have Peter Pantuso, CEO of the American Bus Association. Pete, it's good to be with you.
Good to be with you. Thank you.
Welcome to the hot seat.
Glad to be here.
So real quickly, tell our audience just who you are and what it is that you do.
Sure. Well, the American Bus Association is a trade association in Washington. We represent about 65% of all the buses on the road, about 800 motor coach companies, and about 4,000 members total.
All right. It's time to get cooking here in
Let's
that
do
hot
it.
seat. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's jump right in. One of the spiciest topics. Let's talk about our Congress right now. What is it? What are they doing right now to positively influence the bus industry?
Well, that's a great question because I don't know that positive might be the word that I would use, but Congress it's an interesting situation, and I'm going to roll the clock back a couple of years where we had a Republican Congress, a Democratic administration with the Obama administration. Then things have changed. Now we've got a split House and a split Senate. There's not a lot that's going on in Congress because of that division. That division creates opportunities and it creates challenges. The challenges it creates is getting everybody on the same page to agree. Mm-hmm. The opportunities that it creates is the fact that only things that are really essential are going to move through Congress. And so one of the things that I think will move through Congress in this session in 2019, 2020 probably is going to be infrastructure.
Well said. Well said. So let's transition that talk to, I mentioned taxes. So let's
Sure.
talk about the Trump tax legislation that passed not long ago. How are you seeing that impact the bus industry?
Well, we saw some positives right away, right? We saw an extension of the ability to write off things a little bit quicker. We saw more investment very quickly in new equipment after the Tax Act was passed. We are seeing some positive changes in the industry because of that. But the one challenge that I still question, or the one thing I still ask, is it costs the same amount of money to run government the day before the Tax Act passed than the day after. Same amount of money. So where's that money coming from? It's coming from somewhere. So we are seeing changes, and in some cases at the state and local level, but we're seeing changes in the tax system, across the board, that while your taxes may have gone down, you're seeing fees and other areas where they're going up.
So let me ask you a high-level type of question here. The next 5, 10, 15 years in the bus industry, what are you seeing happening in this space that perhaps the average business owner who's working day to day, working their tail off, what are you seeing that they may not yet see?
Well, I think it's a great time for the bus and motor coach industry, first of all, for a lot of reasons. And over the next few years, I think we'll see them. Number one, you're seeing a lot of people move back into cities, and they're taking mass transportation. And they become bus passengers, whether it's at an urban level and then certainly when they're going from point to point. I mean, I know when I take the bus, for example, to New York City or to some other destination from Washington, D.C., there are lots of people on the bus. There are doctors, lawyers, lots of millennials on the bus. It's a different market than what we had 20 years ago. When I came to the industry 20 years ago, almost half of our passengers were basically college age or younger, and the other half of the passengers were senior citizens. That we missed 20 or 40 years of people in the middle. Those are now our bus passengers. And so the fact that they're riding the bus, that they're moving into cities, they're giving up cars, they're giving up driver's licenses, means they're very friendly to mass transportation, and that's good for us. We're seeing a lot of point-to-point service. We've seen that expand over the years. It's still a part of the industry that expands anywhere from 5 to 7% per year, that city-to-city destination, that pairing, if you will, kind of following the Southwest model. Where are people traveling? Let's put service in there.
Excellent stuff. So I'm going to leave you with one final question that has nothing to do with transportation, which is, as CEO of the American Bus Association, I'm always fascinated by leadership. Who is one leader that has inspired you as you lead this organization?
Wow, great question. I mean, there are so many. Obviously, I have to start with my father because my father was the hardest working man I know. And I've tried to emulate him in that respect in virtually every way. there have been some great leaders that I've learned from since I came to the American Bus Association. Frank Henry with the March Group, who just passed away this past year, is certainly one of those. Woody Blunt from Concord Coach Lines, probably one of the best motor coach operators in the country.
Pete, thank you so much for being in the hot seat.
Thank
It's
you,
been a
Spencer.
pleasure.
Great to be with you.
Thanks for being with us, folks. I'm Spencer Tenney. Until next time, we'll see you then.